Today we're going to compare the Sunshine Nugget hand grain mill with the Country Living grain mill. Both of them are cast iron. Both of them have this baked on white powder coating paint finish, which helps it be easier to clean. However, the Nugget has two models. You can get it with or without the powder coating, and without it it's $20 cheaper. So that's wonderful. This one is a lot lighter than this one. This one weighs 17-18 pounds, and that's a little struggling to lift around, and I will show you in a while how light this is, but it's sturdy. This has a lifetime warranty on the whole entire thing except the stones, which last for many years, like 20 years. This has a limited 20-year warranty. This is a stone grinder. This is a steel plate grinder. But shockingly, they are quite comparable in what they do. The Country Living grain mill is one of the top primo hand grinders out there that exist in its price range. And it costs $429 without this extender bar coming on. You're up around $450 by the time you add this extension bar on, which they call the power bar. With the power bar, this length from the center of the wheel out to here is 3/4 of an inch longer than this, and that is all, 3/4 of an inch. Pretty shocking. Both of them will grind pastry fine flour and lesser. Pastry fine flour is not ideal, however, for bread. A little coarser is better for bread. The tighter you twist this, the finer the grain. Same on this, tighter you twist it, the finer the grain. How hard is it to turn it? If you want really pastry fine flour, it's pretty hard to turn on both of them. They are about equivalent in how hard they are to turn for the same fineness of grain. And this hopper holds 5½ cups. This hopper holds 4 cups. So let's show you what they will do. I'm using phone books because I have this mounted to a board, and we'll talk about that in a bit. You don't have to use phone books depending on your container or your countertop or wherever you're mounting this, but this is how I'm doing it for right now. The Country Living grain mill grinds a little more wheat in the same amount of time. This takes about 2 minutes to grind a cup of flour at the consistency I want it for bread. This takes about 3 minutes to grind a cup of flour. However, at the end of 1 minute on either one, I am toast. So that's that. This is a little choppier, but it's about as easy. Okay, so showing you the flour. Very, very fine. I could have had it finer, but I don't want it finer. Very fine, about the same. Okay, so what they will do. Both of them will grind all grains and corn and beans. However, they need special attachments for certain things. If you want to do beans and larger grains like dent corn on this one, you have to get a bean auger attachment. For this one, you need the steel burr kit if you want to do larger things like beans and corn. And here is the steel burr kit. It's also preferable to use the steel burr kit attachment instead of the stones if you're going to do cracked wheat. This doesn't crack wheat so well. This one, by loosening it enough, it'll crack the wheat. Price-wise, like we're saying, this as is about $450. This one, as is, without any attachments, is between a third and half of that. That is one of the amazing features about this. Now, if we want to mount these, I don't want to drill holes in my countertop. I also drilled holes in this Corian board for this, and then I'm using C-clamps on the countertop. You can, for either one of them, get a clamp attachment where you bolt this to the top of this and then attach it to your countertop like that. However, on my countertop, my oak edge keeps this from working. Also, it's actually stronger to use two clamps and hold it in place. Both of these you can get or make a wall mount, which is a nice thing if you want to mount this to a wall. But you notice that they're both made to be bolted down. These grinding stuff isn't really easy, you guys, and so it needs to be really solid. So now let me show you what it took for me to build this. For about the same price as this clamp, I built this little thingy right here. I didn't have to buy the board, it was in my wood pile. But you can get a 1.5 foot by 6 inch 2 by 6 redwood board, because that's really heavy, and then drill holes in it. And let me just loosen this up and show you what you need to do. A C-clamp. Or a metal bar clamp. These cost about twice as much as these, but they have this little convenience of being able to do that, and then you can tighten the rest of the way with this. However, you can get a better torque because of this little handle sticking out. All right. Let's dump out what I've got here. All right. In order, if you want to mount this to a board, you have to recess the heads. It's important to first recess the heads. Okay. To recess the heads, you need a bigger partial hole that you use a stubby spade bit for. You can use 3/4 of an inch or an inch or something in between to make the hole big enough so that not only the head but a washer will fit inside that hole. And I just went down far enough so that the head would be recessed. What you're getting is you're getting 4 hex bolts. That is a hex bolt. This is longer than what you need. How long do you need it? Depends on your countertop or your table or wherever it is you're going to mount this to. So for each of the 4 holes, I got a hex bolt, 2 washers, and I got a wing nut because I love doing this by hand. I love it. And then you can have a board that is a foot wide. Instead of having this be about 6 inches wide and a 1.5 feet long, you can have it be a foot wide, and then you don't need to use phone books. However, it's wonderfully more portable if you use a smaller board. Or you might have some kind of thing where you'd like to just use this clamp kit. You have to figure out your own thing. But this will do all the regular grains and popcorn without any attachment. You have to see what you care about. Popcorn makes a preferable cornmeal to dent corn. And guess what? Popcorn is never GMO. It's not genetically modified yet. So that's a big bonus. Store popcorn, you guys. Popcorn can also be popped. So let me just say this in case you didn't think of it yourselves, but you probably did. I'm using my electric grinder until the electricity goes out. But when the electricity goes out, you need a hand grinder. If you can afford this, this is wonderful. I'm glad I have this. However, everybody pretty much can afford this, and this is incredible. And it might be that all you need is just the grinder. So you can Google Silver Nugget or Sunshine Nugget hand grain mill. And this is how light it is. And that's with the board. I mean, that's not 17 pounds. And I don't even know if 17 pounds includes all of the flywheel. It's very heavy. Thank you.